What's up, good people? What's good? What's good? Good night, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you watching. It's probably I don't know where y'all watching me at. Y'all be in the bed watching me, or you just be on the couch. I'm always curious on y'all had your phone. I don't know. Anyway, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody had a good day. It's Wednesday. This is the makeup show because yesterday I couldn't do the show. So let me get some shout outs. What's up, Shonda? What's up, Crystal and Carolyn Asante? Everyone else who just joined, do me a favor, share this video. I know it's late, so a lot of people are probably not going to watch it live, so they will probably watch the rerun. And I think the rerun is really going to be important. So do me a favor, share this video because a lot of people are going to want to know what's going on. Let's get into this. And I'm not going to be long because let's get into it real quick because I want to talk about some stuff that's in my spirit. You know, I need to convey and get out some things that's in my spirit. You know, my spirit is vexed. And I'm kind of sick and tired of a lot of the stuff that's constantly still keep going on, especially that's happening in Oklahoma. And what I'm talking about here, this is what I'm talking about. I am speaking about the fact that there is hate. Again, hate has come into the forefront of the topic of Oklahoma today. Hate. Yes, hate has decided to rear its ugly head again. What am I talking about? Last week, we dealt with racist graffiti that was on the Democratic Party, local party headquarters in Oklahoma City. Today, we're dealing with another attack, and I will call that an attack. And the reason I'm calling it an attack is because that's exactly what it is. The intent is to disrupt and to cause problems. So I'm going to call this an attack because that's exactly what it is. It's an attack. There was racial slurs that was hurled at three Norman locations today. There was racist graffiti that was there. Let me talk about it right quick. It was racist graffiti. This is what happened. This is what we're finding out. It says the images contain, pretty much racial messages. Again, African Americans, Jews, the whole nine. I mean, it's just something that constantly keeps going on. It's at three Norman locations. The first one was at the Firehouse Art Center. Another one was at a elementary school. Y'all some dumbasses. Elementary school. And then you got the Cleveland County Democratic Party headquarters as well that was defaced. And this is going on again. I had the opportunity earlier today to speak with the news in reference to the hate that's going on within Oklahoma. And I have said it, and I will keep saying it, and I will keep saying it every chance I get. If they make hate crimes a felony, you will start seeing it being reduced. It says Jews and you have the swastika there. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is stuff that's happening and we could keep talking about this over and over again. And we can sit back and say to ourselves, oh, this is just an isolated incident, because I've seen a lot of people today. They turned around and said, oh, this is fake news. This is not true. They don't want people to actually believe. And so there's this argument that people are going off. And they're saying to themselves, well, why are you reporting it? Why are you talking about this? Why do you keep talking about this? When people do it, are we giving them more of a platform? And the people who are talking and are making these statements, they're normally people of privilege, right? They're normally are people that are not the ones at the object of the attack, right? They're normally not minorities. They're normally not the ones that's at the object of that attack, or LGBT or the gender. They're normally not that. So it's just like someone saying that if your friend was attacked and you want to be upset because your friend wants to go out there and say, hey, I've been attacked. This is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't put a face to this mess, if we don't talk about this is not going to go away. And see, we can have all of the legislators and people can come to you and people can keep saying, oh, this is the isolated incident. We can have a kumbaya moment. We can do all those different things. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's not going to stop until they make this a felony. It's not going to stop. Why? Because people feel emboldened now. Hate and racism has always been in America. We know that. I mean, I don't need to go through a history lesson for you guys. You guys are probably more intelligent than I am. So I don't need to go through a history lesson. However, we have to understand that we cannot tolerate hate. And I've heard the governor last week, he said that this was repulsive and it's something that we are not going to stand for. So I asked the governor straight up. I said, Governor, will you be willing to help work with both sides of the aisle to help sponsor a bill that will make hate crimes a felony? Because the way it's written is written more on the line of vandalism. It's not written on the lines of the intent, because the intent is to create hate. That's the intent. So he didn't respond. Of course, I didn't think he was going to respond to me anyway. But I want you guys to start thinking in reference to why is hate crime a misdemeanor? So you remember earlier this year, there was a white guy who went into Kroger's and he shot two black people. His intention was to kill two black people that day. That was his intentions, and he said it, right? So Kentucky ended up arresting him, but they had a problem, and I talked about this on the show. The problem is that Kentucky could not prosecute him for a hate crime. Why? Because their hate crimes were a misdemeanor. Well, if they tacked that on, it was a lesser charge. That's their biggest problem. So as we see that individuals have become and started to become real emboldened by this president, we're going to start seeing more incidences like that. So I would say this: if Oklahoma's government, and I'm not just talking about just the governor, I'm talking about both sides of the aisle, if the Republicans and the Democrats or the independents or libertarians, whoever is in the party, along with the governor, if they are serious about this, they would turn around and say, let's rewrite this law as far as hate crime is concerned. Let's focus the attention on the attacks of people of color. Let's focus the attention of the attacks of, let's look at the model that the federal government has. The federal government has a great model. Let's use that model. And so we can mirror what the federal government has to where we have it, so that now when there's hate that happens within our state, it will be dealt with accordingly. And I guarantee you that would be a deterrent. That's my thing. That's my thoughts on that, because I really feel like hate crimes it needs to stop, but it's not going to stop because if they get a slap on the wrist, and it's going to happen. I mean, this is tragic. Once again, they struck in this particular area. Again, we're talking about the Oklahoma City area. And I really feel like they're going to probably start coming down to Tulsa and some other areas like that. But, be vigilant. Put your camera on there. I tell people, always be vigilant when you see stuff like this happening, because guess what? It is not just an isolated issue. There are people right now who are going around Oklahoma who are feeling emboldened. They feel like, this is my president. This is what I'm going to do. Damn it. This is what I'm going to do. And I don't like anybody who doesn't look like me, because the funny thing about it, here's the crazy part about it. Donald Trump has single-handedly spoken to the disenfranchised people to make the disenfranchised people think that they're actually on a level for him. That's how crazy that is, right? So what am I saying? People who are poor and maybe Republican actually voted for him thinking as if that he was going to have their best interests, because they don't like a lot of these social issues that they get caught up with, is abortion and also immigration. But they don't realize that he's only using that to inflame you so that you can still be a wedge. It's just creating a wedge. That's all this is. It's creating a wedge. So if I can continue to keep my people dumb, then I can continue to control my people. That's the concept of rich people. All right, let me move on to the next subject. Let me move on to that next subject here. All right, this just came out earlier tonight, and we're talking about Tulsa County. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the FBI is investigating Tulsa County, thanks to Fox 23 News. The FBI is investigating the Tulsa County Public Facilities Authority. What is the Public Facilities Authority? I'm glad you asked. The Public Facilities Authority manages the Tulsa Expo Square. Everyone who lives in Tulsa, who has traveled to Tulsa, you know what the Expo Square is. The Expo Square basically is a location where we have our state fairgrounds, right? You guys remember that. You guys know, you've been there, you know where the fairgrounds is and all those different things. So that's what this management company, well, there is some embezzlement going on right now. And it's been going on for, it looks here, since 2015 all up to 2018. So there's some embezzlement going on. And so now the feds are looking at it. So here we got a statement from the president, and I will read it here. This is the CEO. His name is Mark Andrus. He provided a statement. He said, "We have uncovered a potential embezzlement and missing funds which occurred over the past several years. This is an injustice to those connected to our facility. We are focused on accounting for and recovering all funds. To ensure that this does not happen again, we will focus on improving the cash handling processes." So it looks and it appears that let me bring a picture up there, that this organization that runs the Expo Center is in damn trouble. That's what it appears to be right now. It is in trouble. And they are a part of the Tulsa County. There's a part of the government. Let me bring this up so you guys will see it. I just clicked on the link so you guys will see it. It says the Tulsa County Public Facilities Authority. The Tulsa County Public Facilities Authority is a public trust, ladies and gentlemen. It's a public trust established in accordance with the Oklahoma law. It has the sole purpose of managing all facilities occurring on certain properties, commonly known as the Tulsa County Fairgrounds, which is owned by the Tulsa County, but leased to the Tulsa County Public Facilities Authority, right? They have 5 members of a governing board, 3 county commissioners, which is, Karen Keefe and all them, 2 private citizens, and 1 who's appointed by the commissioners. The responsibilities of this board includes the hiring of the president and the chief executive officer, approval of all contracts necessary for facilities occurring to the property, providing oversight for all financial matters, and directing long-range planning efforts. Meeting of these particular authority are generally held twice a month at 9 a.m. at the Expo Center. The agenda is set by the chairman. So that is a government utility, ladies and gentlemen. That is a government utility, and that is in trouble. Yep, they are in trouble. Yep, they are in trouble. So the feds are investigating. You don't want the feds just start looking at that. But I'm curious. Typically, the feds don't normally make a statement to say we're investigating something. I don't know about all this. Feds are normally like little stealth sharks, and they don't normally come out and say what they're investigating. So they're kind of like stealth, and I'm just curious, why would they come out and say this unless they just got some information on the fly that said that they're investigating this? Because the feds normally, you don't even know if they're investigating you until they actually come down with an indictment or something. All right, guys, let's talk about this. You guys have seen it. My next story, you guys have seen it. Let me bring it up on the screen. You guys have seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. Waco biker shooting. Prosecutors dropped all mother charges. Sorry, guys. Yes, this pissed me off. This pissed me off. You guys probably don't even remember this thing. This happened back in 2015. It was a shootout of bikers. It happened in Waco, Texas. It was around Twin Peaks, which is the bar that sells a lot of wings and all. It happened around that area. 9 people died. 20 people were injured. They had a ton of arrests, and the prosecutors have turned around basically saying they don't have the resources. Let me see. Let me just state what he said. So I don't want you guys to take my words just for face value. Let me state what he said in a statement announcing all charges will be dropped in the deadliest biker shooting in U.S. history. This is the McLean County District Attorney Barry Johnson said any effort to prosecute the case would be a waste of time, effort, and resources. That's what he said. A waste of time, effort, and resources. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 people died. 20 was shot. 20 were injured. 9 people died. 20 were injured. 20. And he said it would be a waste of time. A waste, ladies and gentlemen, a waste of time. That is something that I believe. I wonder how the family feels about the 9 family members who actually died. I wonder how they feel that they're going to do this. I really, truly wonder how they feel, because when you have a prosecutor to say it's a waste of time, then he goes on to say, in my opinion, had this action taken in a timely manner, it should have resulted in numerous convictions and prison sentences against many of the most who participated in the Twin Peaks brawl. He said over the next 3 years, the prior district attorney failed to take action for reasons that I do not know to this day. This is what he said. All right. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I really don't. I hope you guys are pissed just like I am. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think it's wrong. I think anytime you have a prosecutor to turn around and say it's a waste of time, I mean, think about how he feels, as if that he can't do anything. This prosecutor cannot do anything at all to help these families at least see some form of justice. For this prosecutor to say it's a waste of time, it sounds like to me that this prosecutor may be in bed with some of the bikers. And we know that these bikers are very powerful, very political, very strong. I mean, we're talking about a huge biker group, okay? A bunch of biker groups. So for this prosecutors to say, this, I think, is a slap in the face to this family. I think it's a slap in the face to all these people who are injured. And, you know, this is just crazy. This is interesting for this to happen. This is very interesting for it to happen. But hey, he dropped all the charges. I think this is wrong. A lot of people forgot about this shooting. This was the deadliest shooting of a biker shooting in U.S. history. And the prosecutors turned around and dropped all the charges. Now, my question is, will the feds pick up charges? Because in lieu of the state not doing what they're supposed to do, the feds are supposed to come in to see where any federal laws that were broken. I'm pretty sure there are a ton of federal laws that's broken. So I definitely hope that the family members push for the feds to jump in and to say something needs to happen in reference to this. Something needs to happen. This is wrong. Shonda, you said at least we confirm, at least we know 4 were killed by cops. That's what, it's correct. 4 of them were killed by cops. That's that, y'all. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit, because we're sending a message that you can have a shootout and then you can prolong the system and you can kill people and people can just walk. I mean, that's what, in essence, that what we're seeing here. I ain't never seen this happen with the Crips and Bloods or with any other minority gangs or M13 or whatever. I've never seen this happen. I don't understand why this gang, notice how they call it biker group, right? And I want you guys to understand the difference, right? Okay. Biker group. Notice how it's a gang, y'all. I'm just going to put it out. It's a gang. It's a gang. If you ever know what a motorcycle club is, you will recognize the fact that they have the same hierarchy as a gang. They have their patches, they have their colors, they have the same hierarchy, they have their leaders and all that. It's a gang. But I notice how the media spins it. It's like, oh, this is a biker group. This is a biker club, right? But when we talk about other gang-affiliated situations, we call them gangs. And we use inflammatory words. And we just have to understand that this Waco, these biker groups are no different than what you would think of M13, of other groups, other gang groups, or even the cops. Oops, I said it. Yep, I think the cops are a gang too. Because why? They hide behind their color of blue. They can kill anybody legally. And obviously, looks like the biker group can kill someone too legally as well. All right, let me go on to my last and final subject of the night. And I really think we need to talk about this. I mean, really do. Democrats, what the hell is going on with you guys? I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. The Democrats, and I'm closing like a preacher. I'm closing. The Democrats have one agenda. That's it. One effing agenda. What is that agenda? To beat Donald Trump. That's simple. Well, what are the Democrats doing right now? They are eating their young like clockwork. They are eating their young. We started off with every person who gets in the race, they start eating their young. We saw Kamala Harris gets in. You saw them start going for her record as a prosecutor. We don't look at the fact of where she was as a sitting senator right now, right? So we go after them. Then you have other people get in. Now you have Joe Biden. Joe Biden gets into, he's not even declared to get into the damn race yet. He hasn't declared nothing to get in the race. And people are coming at him with knives. And it's not coming from the Republican Party. It's some of it, I believe, is coming from them because they fear he could be a greater challenge for Trump. But I think the majority of this is coming from the inner workings of different people within the Democratic Party, that they are very afraid of Joe Biden running. Why? Because they feel emboldened or entitled that this is mine. You told me this is mine. So what am I saying, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden is in I would say a fickle, right? I would say that the fact that Joe Biden has, he's in a little trouble, I think. I think he's in a little trouble. I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing. I think he's addressing issues that he needs to address, as he was allegedly, and see, this is Fox News right here. Fox News. Joe Biden alleged group behavior groping was detailed in 2015 Daily Show segment, right? So here's my problem, ladies and gentlemen, with all of this, right? Here's my problem. I'm going to get in and I'm going to get out. Joe was the vice president for 4 years. I'm sorry, 8 years. Almost forgot, Joe. He was the vice president for 8 damn years. Him and Obama had this bromance, right? They had this bromance. People loved it. Everybody was saying how much they loved it. They were saying, oh, yeah, we love Joe. We love Obama. You loved his policies, right? Right? You didn't ever see Joe Biden undercut Obama. You ain't hear about no indictments. You ain't hear about none of this crap that we hear about today. You saw a well-oiled machine and you felt proud to be an American. Some of you even didn't like Obama, but now today you're saying, damn, I wish Obama was back now. Because you see that this clown that we have in office. So here's my problem. Joe Biden, you know who he is. He's been in the news. He's been in politics for over 30, 40 plus years. Why are the Democrats going after something that is so old? And okay, if he has to address this issue, I get it. Let me talk to the people who believe what he did was wrong. I'm not making an excuse for him. He actually made a statement. But my problem is, why are you going after him now? Why not look at his policies for at least the last 8 years? Find something that's a little bit more relevant, as opposed to going to something back before he was actually, when he was senator and stuff. Look at something that he has done that you feel that is bad or what have you. He was a part of the greatest recovery of the economy. Joe Biden was. This man has not even acknowledged the fact that he is going to enter the race, and you got the knives and the wolves coming out. And I really believe it's coming from Democrats. I really, truly believe it's coming from Democrats. The majority is coming from Democrats. And again, we eating our young, and I think it's stupid. I think it's wrong. I think it's a messed up situation. I think at this point in time, the Democrats need to understand what their party is all about and their platform is all about, and stop allowing different people to come in here and to say certain things that they need to say. And I don't get it. I think you can say what you need to say, but you need to also understand that there are previous party leaders that have been in the party. You don't disrespect them, like Pete Buttigieg. He came out and he actually, and this is just a rookie mistake. He called Secretary Clinton, Hillary, and he got bashed over the head. But I mean, that's just a learning experience that he's going through. And I think we're seeing this when other people start to get in the race. But I think it's a categoric mistake for Democrats to go after Joe Biden, for Democrats to sit down and to look at all of this thing. You guys need to have one focus. That focus should be beat Donald Trump. That should be the focus. And it should not be all about if he touched a woman on his shoulder back 40, 50 years. You have a dude in office who literally said it is okay to grab him by the, and he called his locker room talk. He mocks everybody, but yet and still take that same energy by getting that fool out of office as opposed to trying to drum up old stuff on other people. Listen, nobody's perfect, all right? Nobody's perfect. And I believe this whole perfected mentality that we're trying to possess right now in America it's a mistake. No one's perfect. People have made mistakes in their past, acknowledge it, move on. But somehow we want to sit back and deal and try to take these mistakes that individuals have made. We want to make them just mass graves and throw them in there. No one's perfect. And if you're looking for perfected candidates, that ain't going to happen, boo. It's not going to happen. So let's think and be wise about this before you try to throw your probably the person who is probably more electable than anyone in the race. Why? Because you know their policies. Listen, you're going up against an incumbent. Okay? What does that mean? That means that you're going against a person. Ladies and gentlemen, hear me when I say this correctly. The last incumbent that lost a presidential race was George Herbert Walker Bush. Okay? He had a phenomenal guy that he ran against that was Bill Clinton. People would rather stick with the devil they know than to try a new devil. Okay? People would rather stick with the devil they know. What am I saying? There's a good possibility that Donald Trump will be reelected, right? Not because he's a great president, but because people have just become, it's a human thing. They become really comfortable with seeing a person. They become comfortable with this. They're normalized by that behavior. So when you bring someone else new, now you got to figure out, okay, what this person is all about. That's why I said people will rather deal with the devil that they know. And in order to change a person's mind, you have to have a phenomenal candidate, or you have to go with a candidate that you know of. What candidate do you know of? You know who Joe Biden is. You know who he is. You know his policies. That's no shade, no tea on any of the candidates that's running. I'm just telling you, you guys are running against an incumbent. You're running against an incumbent. Take the lesson of John Kerry. When John Kerry ran against George Bush, he got the shellacking and he got the lesson learned. Trust me when I tell you guys, this is an incumbent. Donald Trump, likability is let me say this. Guys and ladies, Donald Trump is an asshole and he's comfortable with it. And guess what? His party is comfortable with it. And guess what? America is comfortable with it. So by you trying to go after him by being an asshole, they don't care. He has normalized bad behavior and we have become comfortable with it. So you need a candidate that is not going to be so comfortable with that type of behavior. You need a candidate that is not going to just get caught up into all of these emotionalisms. You need a candidate that can talk about policies. You need a candidate that can talk about getting people back to work. You need a candidate that can talk about healthcare. You need a candidate that can actually do some things. You don't need a candidate that can talk about all of these. Well, he's a bad person. They said this. Don't nobody give a damn about that stuff. What people are concerned about, can you put money in my pocket? Can you pay my bills? Can I go out here and feel safe when I go to work? Can I raise my kids? Can I pay for daycare? Can I go on vacation? That's what people want. People do not care about how well our president, because guess what? We have normalized foolishness. And that's what that is. Will, you said you want to bring back honor to the nation's office. I agree with that. Will, you also said so disappointing that voters who choose to vote this past Tuesday in Wisconsin were over the age of 35. Young people, please take hold. I agree with that, Will. We'll address that real quick. Andrew, you said I'm not comfortable with it. Ladies and gentlemen, we just had a nice election. That election in Chicago, Wisconsin, Chicago, the third largest city, just elected an African-American woman, an LGBT woman. So that's change that's happening. I believe in 2019, if you're still concerned about people's sexual or general orientation, I think you got an issue. 2019, we shouldn't even be talking about that. We should be talking about the policies and what they can do for this particular government or your government, wherever you are. I think that's stupid for people to get caught up in that. And congratulations to Chicago. Also, congratulations to Wisconsin. Ladies and gentlemen, young people have become disenfranchised, but I believe that they're going to start the movement. I believe that young people will be the face. I believe that we need to listen to them. I believe we need to develop a coalition to understand. But however, they do have some potential to be not involved. Why? Because they don't see the movement. So I think it's our job to educate them, to let them know how slow government is. But this is why I always push your local offices, because your local offices, you can see change immediately. You can see change immediately, as opposed to on the federal level, congressional level. That's a couple of things I want to definitely say that. So I want to make sure that people are aware that, thanks Angela, that the Democratic parties, I think all over the state, are having their conventions this weekend coming up. So check your local area. Not trying to be a voice of the Democratic Party. I just know that Angela said something about it, and I remember that. I don't know when the Republican conventions are. I don't know if they have certain states or whatever. But this is what I wanted to tell you. Democrats, do not hang yourself over all of this foolishness. Stay focused. Understand that you have a person in office that is doing what? They are stripping all of these things. They're trying to go after your health care. They're trying to go after Social Security. They're trying to go after, no protections, the auto industry. He erased the anti-discrimination protection. He's erasing stuff. And yet, let's talk about these taxes. I know most of you guys have gotten short on your taxes. Why? Because they passed that tax bill 2 years ago. A year and a half ago, they passed that tax bill, and that has hurt a lot of people's pocket. Where is that coming from? That's coming from your commander in chief. But this is what he does. He tricks you with his words. He tricks you with his words, and then you become focused on what he's saying and not actually what he's doing. So it's almost like you playing spades. If you ever play spades and you're trying to, you're trying to psych the other person up, but you know that you really got a weak hand, and you're trying to psych the other person up. But so you just going to talk smack. You're going to just deflect it, and you're going to get them off their game, so that when they start to play, they're not going to even pay attention what hit the table. So they're not even counting the cards. That goes for all you spades players out there. But anyway, that's what I want to say in reference to a lot of stuff. So guys and ladies, please take heed. If your focus is defeating Donald Trump, and I don't care what candidate, whether it's Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, whoever you're supporting, please understand, if your candidate is not focused on beating Donald Trump, you might want to find another candidate. I don't even know who I'm going to support this time going around. And the reason being is because there's so much. But I tell you, what I will support is the Democratic nomination, is whoever wins the nomination. That's who I will support, whether I like them or not. And this is something I'm trying to get people to understand. Whether I like it or not, whether you like it or not, whether your person who you like does not win the Democratic nomination, you still need to support your candidate. You still need to support that candidate. I think we have learned a valuable lesson by not supporting Secretary Clinton. I think we learned a valuable lesson. Secretary Clinton told us all of this stuff that was going down. She told us. Now, you may not have liked her. You may have not liked anything that she has said. You may have not liked anything or her policies or what she said or how she looked or her demeanor. Did she hold the baby? Did she wear a skirt? Y'all got caught up in all of that foolishness. Now we have this guy here, and then we even have people who were Bernie supporters who said that they did not intentionally vote for Hillary Clinton because they turned around, they didn't like her. And now you have Donald Trump in office. I just want people to really logically understand, when you have a president in power, that president controls the federal benches. The federal benches go at least for 30, 40 years. Federal benches, they appoint your federal prosecutors in the local area. So let me just be real crazy, all right? You have an officer who shot a person who is black, and he did it racially. Well, let's just say that Donald Trump appointed a prosecutor who doesn't really feel about racial tension or upholding that form of law of civil rights. Do you think he's going to go out there and try to investigate that case or prosecute that case? No. Let's just even moving further. Let's look at the Federal Court of Appeals. If there's cases that you've lost and you have a super conservative on your case and they're looking at voters' rights or anything of that nature that is super conservative, that affects you because he's appointed that. Let's even go to the Supreme Court level. He's already said that he's waiting on Justice Ginsburg to die so he can appoint someone else. Elections have consequences. Do not make this mistake again. So Democrats, get off your horse with Joe Biden. Start focusing on beating Donald Trump. That should be your central focus. All right, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Thank you guys for joining. I will see you guys tomorrow night so we can be back on schedule. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Take care of yourself. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Peace out.